In this class, we will understand the concept of while loop structure. We will understand the concept of while loop structure with the syntax first, and later we will understand the concept by using an example. So let's get started with the syntax. This is the keyword that is used for the while loop, which is while, and it comes along with these parentheses. Now within these parentheses, we have to provide the conditional statement, means this is where we are going to check the condition. Now every while statement will be having its own open and closed curly braces. Whatever the statements that we want to repeat, so those statements are provided within these open and closed curly braces. Means the content that needs to be repeated, that is provided within these curly braces. So this is the syntax for while loop. We will understand this syntax by using an example. Now the same example that we have covered in the for loop concept, the same example I have taken. Now what is the job done by this program is, we are going to print the value of I for 5 times, means the first 5 natural numbers, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the first 5 natural numbers will get printed. So what I have done is, the initialization that we have used in the for loop, that is done outside the for loop, outside the while loop, where here the value of I is initialized here itself in this initialization. Now we are going to compare the value of I with 5. Every time we are going to iterate this loop, we will do this conditional statement, we'll check this conditional statement. So the while loop is going to iterate until this condition statement fails. So if this conditional statement happens to be true, until this conditional statement happens to be true, this while loop is going to iterate. So try to understand this. So here is the value of I less than or equal to 5, means the value of I is 1 here. 1 less than or equal to 5, is it true? Yes, this is true. So if this is true, we will come into this while loop. So whenever this condition fails, then only we are going to come out of this loop. Now here we are going to print the value of I, the value of I will get printed, and next we are incrementing the value of I within this while loop. So I plus plus, the value of I will get incremented. Now we are going to check 2 less than or equal to 5. Now is it true? Yes, it is true. We are going to come into this while loop and check 3 less than or equal to 5. Yes, this is also true. Again the printf will be is going to print the value of 3, and the value of I will get incremented. Here 4 less than or equal to 5, is it true? Yes, this is true. Now until this condition is true, we are going to enter into this while loop. So next 5 less than or equal to 5, is it true? Yes, this is true. Next 6 less than or equal to 5, is it true? No, this one is failing. So whenever this condition fails, we are going to come out of this while loop. Okay, so this is how the while loop works. So the syntax is different. So in the for loop, we are having 3 statements: initialization, conditional check, and next incrementation. Whereas in the while loop, we will be having only the conditional statement. So what is the difference? So the initialization is done before and the increment is done within the while loop. Now, can we use for loop? Yes, you can use for loop. Any job that is done by a while loop can also be done by a for loop. But the difference is, whenever there are some situations where we are not sure that this particular condition is going to iterate for these many number of times. So in such cases, we are going to use this while loop. So the best way to understand the concept of while loop, the use of while loop, is checking username and password. So whenever we are on the login page of any website, so when we are going to enter into that website pages, into the dashboard, so that can be done only if the username and password are true. If not, if the username and password are not true, then we are going to stay within this login page. So whenever the username and password are not true, you have to stay on the login page. Whenever the username and password are true, then we are going to enter into the home page, means the dashboard page. Within that, for that login, means whenever the condition, so whenever we are not sure that this loop is going to iterate for these many number of times, starting from value starting from 1 to n number of times, if you are sure that so this loop is going to iterate for these many number of times and you are sure about it, then it is professional to use for loop. So there is no rule that this is where the for loop has to be used and this is where the while loop has to be used, because for every for loop there is an alternative we can write in the while loop by using the while loop. Okay, so that is very important point that you need to keep in mind. So it is professional whenever we are not sure that these many number of times this loop is going to be iterated. So in such cases we will use this while loop. So if you don't understand this particular concept at this point of time, so just leave it for this, leave it at this point of time. As we go on with more number of examples, as we are going to solve more number of examples, you will clearly understand when to use a for loop and when to use a while loop. So professionally it makes some difference, otherwise the job done by every for loop, whatever the statement that we have written in the for loop, the same statements can also be written by using the while loop. So just keep that in mind. So that's it for this video. In the next class, we are going to understand another very important loop structure, which is do while loop. So that's it for this video. See you in the next class.